Welcome to Stormworks Unlimited. This is Tater. Today we're checking out the lobster pots, and I'm going to show you guys what works pretty good for me. So stay tuned, we're going to drop some in the water. Well, thanks again, you guys, for tuning in. I'm going to show you guys kind of how my lobster pots, crab pots, whatever you want to call them, work. Essentially, I have a giant landing float with a microcontroller attached to it. There's a winch on the bottom, and on the other end of that winch is a lobster pot. So we drop this in the water, the winch automatically extends and puts our lobster pots on the bottom of the ocean floor. When it gets full, it sends a signal back up through the winch line, and it turns on a transponder and this blue light, so we know that we need to go pick them up. So I'm going to go ahead and let's line this thing up. I want to stay in the shallow water, so we're going to go, we're in pretty shallow water here, so we just want to start dropping these off the side of the boat. So all we got to do is push this button, and that releases the brake on those sliders that they're hooked to, and we just shove them right off the edge of the boat, just like so. Try not to get them too close together, just like that. That's not what I wanted to do. We have our little friend lurking. Okay, so we might be a little too deep of water, but I'm going to drop this one. I'm not going to drop it yet. I'm going to stop the boat, and then I'm going to drop it where we can sit here and watch it. All right, and I am dropping it, and it is, you can see the lobster pot is lowering down to the bottom of the ocean. Hopefully it has enough. Oh yeah, it's getting to the bottom. Okay, so essentially, when those get full, the beacon will turn on and that light will turn on. So what we want to do now is we want to go sleep. Boat's turned off. There's a random kraken wandering about, but we're going to sleep for a night. We want to sleep for like a day. And we'll wake up middle of the day and let's go see what we have in our crab pots. Now they may not be full, but I guarantee there's going to be some crabs in there. We've got a pretty good stash of them. The light's on, so that's saying we're pretty much full. And if we turn it to nighttime, you can see that they're all full. So that's a really fast way to get your crab pots filled up, is just to sleep on your boat. So I'm going to show you guys how this works. We got to take these electrical cables. I think I have to throw this rifle on the ground. That's my anti-kraken rifle. I guess, even though it's not going to do anything. But yeah, we're going to turn this on, enable it. We're going to swing it up. It actually has 2 winches, so you can do 2 at a time if you so choose, but it's really unnecessary for what we're doing. So basically just going to swing this around until this guy is hanging off the back of the boat. Yeah, that's pretty close. And then we can put this down. That's our ramp we have in the back, which will kind of help us if we want to kind of grab them and put them in here, we can. But we're not too worried about that. We got to be a little bit up out of the water. That's pretty close. So all we do is just maneuver the boat where we need it to be. I turn the engines back on. Flicker into reverse. I gotta put that winch up just a little bit higher. It's too far down. Now let's see if we snag it. Yep, just like that. And then when we winch this up out of the water, the winch on the bottom of those floats is going to start working, and it's going to reel our crabs in. Just like that. That's a pile of crabs. And we're going to swing them in. Lower it down just a little. Oop, that's the wrong one. Lower it down a little bit here. And if we push this little button, it'll release our catch right into our hopper. That's 16 crabs in there. Now I'm gonna make sure we turn that back off. And we can, a couple things we can do. we can just release it, and we can just shove it back over the side and continue lobster fishing. Head over there. And it'll just start all the way over. You don't have to bait those, or there's nothing special to these. They're really, really easy. And then we can continue on getting our next one, but we want to put our winch back over there where it needs to be. Oop, wrong. I'm like confused here. Let's put. There we go. That's the button I was looking for. Winch might be a little bit low. Let's go try that. Okay, now we just back up to the next one. Winch is possibly a little low still. That was way too much throttle. Too far. There we go. So somewhere right around here, I mean, this thing's swinging around fairly violently. It should get pretty close to hooking up real quick here. Might have to bump it up just a fuzz. Ah, come on. Oh, I didn't have it turned on. Gosh dang it. That really makes it a lot easier to hook things up if your connector is actually turned on. And let's go ahead. We might actually be high enough up. Nah, we're not. Let's pull it up a little. Just like that. That's pretty easy. And swing it back on board. So that's pretty much the gist of how I am lobster fishing or crab fishing. I haven't figured out where the lobsters are yet. I'm sure that they're in a different type of area, maybe. Don't run off the boat now. You stay in your little crab pot. Supposedly they'll walk around on the deck of the boat. I haven't seen that yet, but we do have a pretty good chunk of crabs in here. And what's that, 30? No, 32 crabs. 32 crabs we have total. We gotta make sure that this is off. Let's hit this one. And we'll turn it back on right away this time. Kick it back over the side. Boop, boop. Just like that, and it's back to fishing. So now let's take a load of crabs. That's a mud crab. Oops. I also want to get a coconut crab. I might have to get rid of all these mud crabs to do it. I want one mud crab and like at least one coconut crab. Okay, I got a coconut crab and a mud crab. Let's go and just see, and just see how much these sell for. Now we could run the boat over there and do it using the vacuum system, but I'm just more interested in seeing what we get. So let's turn on infinite resources off. So we have $23,000, and if we push this button, $23,600 on a mud crab and $23,900 on a coconut crab. So coconut crabs were $300 and mud crabs were $600. So if you can imagine, if all of these, you can't see them, but we're gonna teleport there. If all 38 of these buoys are plumb full, let's say we're averaging, well, we got 32 in the last one, so I'm gonna guess 16 is probably the max. And half of them are mud crabs and half of them are coconut crabs. That would average us out to, what does that average us out to be? They were what, 600 for one, 300 for the other. That gives us an average of 750. So if we went 750 times 16 times 38, that's $456,000 on average just crabbing with this boat in one run. Now you got to remember too, by the time you back up and pick all those up these ones up here are going to be full of crabs again too. Or you can just sleep and make another run. The whole intention with this boat is I have no intention of picking these back up out of the water. I mean, you pick them up, you empty them out, you throw them back in, and you're done. So that's like the basics of how I do the lobster and crab fishing. Now, I haven't figured out where the lobsters are yet. I'm starting to think they're probably up north in the deeper water. Let's reveal the map. I know that there's some stuff up here in the Arctic region. We could probably try up there and see what we get, but that's another video for another day. So I want to say thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Hit a like button if you liked it, and I really appreciate you guys watching again. This kind of just been a hobby for me, and it's been working out pretty good. You guys have been great. I've got a pretty good group of folks following along, so I want to say thank you to all you. And if you're new to the channel, I want to say thank you, and please subscribe. So thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one.